Brother Marak, hop on, sir.
What's going on, Tariq? I wanted to bring up something because people have been talking about this whole Native American, Indian talk. You know about the Hyksos of Egypt.
Oh yeah,
We thought so. What's interesting about the Hyksos is that when they invaded Egypt or Kemet, they didn't do it by force. They didn't do it by military. They just came in and they just settled in.
yeah,
So it reminds me, I know Dr. Cobb has brought up the fact that Genghis Khan could have possibly been attached to the fact that the Native Americans may have possibly been attached to him to some degree, maybe. And they're a late population that came in. So the Hyksos, they also came in, after Kemet was well established. They came in, they adopted the customs, the culture, and then they pretended to be the Egyptians for a very long time until the Egyptians caught on to their tetherism and kicked them the hell out.
mm,
So that needs to be taken into consideration when we're talking about these red Native Americans. Also, it's funny because a lot of these tethers always trying to flat Indian Native Americans too. You realize that the Native Americans had 1,000 different tribes, and I'm talking about us as well. So we don't need replication from red Native Americans. We're our own distinct tribe. We're our own distinct group, and that applies also to the African groups as well. No one else is replicating like us genetically and culturally. Alan.
thank you so much. That's real talk, man. I'm not trying to get into none of these tribes that's already been flipped and remixed. I don't want to be a part of none of these tribes, even though, we can prove that we got some native lineage and ancestry, but I'm not a part of these damn tribes. These tribes all mixed up with white supremacists and they got Mexicans and it's all types of shit in these tribes. It ain't the same as it was back in the day. It's different. You know what I mean? The only thing that's consistent is us, foundational Black Americans. That's the only thing that has been straight up and down consistent. Solon, let me get Solon back in here. Brother Solon, hop back in, sir.
I just want to build off what Morocco was saying. So, given the documented presence of melanated people in the Americas prior to European colonization, how should we reframe the historical narrative to emphasize Black Americans as autochthonous to this land, while also addressing the unique cultural, social, and political identity forged through our descendants in the United States?
Y-
What steps can be taken to ensure this understanding becomes a central part of educational and societal discourse?
Right, and
Us being autochthonous.
right, and
I
that
know if we say indigenous, then it's going to say, "Oh, you trying to be Native American,"
right.
or yeah, stuff like that. So I'd rather say autochthonous, or even just us being from this land via ethnogenesis.
Right, and that's
So I'll land.
that's a very good question, and that's why I always say Black Aboriginal, because that's why we don't get into that Chickasaw thing. Okay, because right there, y'all trying to be like the. See, then that kind of minimizes it. Yes, there were Black Aboriginal people here. That's the term I use. There were Black Aboriginal people here to distinguish from the Red Indians, because you had the Red Indians and they were clearly Black Indians. There's a reason why they called them Indians, because they were just as black as the people in India. Duh. But they have branded an Indian as looking like Iron Eyes Cody. When you look at the Hollywood version of a Native American, it looks like Iron Eyes Cody. And Iron Eyes Cody was a fake ass Native American. He wasn't even a real Native American. He was the what? If you were old enough to remember the Crying Indian in the '70s, and there was a pollution commercial, and there was a crying Native American, a real famous commercial back in the '70s. But that dude, Iron Eyes Cody, he was very famous in a lot of movies in the '30s and '40s. Come to find out, this dude was not a Native American at all. His ass is Italian. His family immigrated here from Italy and he has zero Native American. I mean, like zero. And you have people like Dog the Bounty Hunter running around here with feathers in his hair. He was trying to claim Native American. None of his people are Native American. All of his family is German. So you got a lot of that stuff. Um, so yeah, we recognize the Aboriginal ancestry that we have here. And look, I know it. Trust me. The first time people were talking about it on a massive scale, it came from Hidden Colors. Do y'all remember? We were talking about this in the first Hidden Colors. That's why people know about it now. Before 2011, nobody was talking about Black Aboriginal people being on this land, not on a massive scale. Nobody was talking about that. They started talking about it because we put it in the Hidden Colors film. Go back and look at the first Hidden Colors. You can look at it on Amazon Prime. We were telling people, hey, by the way, not only, there were black people doing things in Kemet and Africa and the Moors. We're talking about the Moors in Spain. And by the way, there were black people over here way before Columbus, and we started breaking that down. So yeah, we always been on that. And I think we doubled down on it in Hidden Colors too. And then we doubled down on it again in the American Maroon film. Very well documented. So we just have to keep beating that drum. We have to keep drilling that knowledge into the heads of foundational Black Americans so that we know, so that when people come and try to counter the narrative, we know what to hit them with. We know what sources to hit them with. We know what books to reference because we can break down books. This is a brother who was an American Maroon, our good brother Chase McGee. He wrote a book, and I think you can get it on Amazon. I think the book is called 18 White Men Who Saw Black People in the Americas Before Columbus. I think that's the name of the book. And he just made the book real plain and real to the point. And he starts breaking down the white explorers and the white scientists who proved that there were Black Aboriginal people here. It's been proven over and over again. Black people were already here in America. We've been here. When we can prove this through lineage, we can prove this through science, we can prove this through archaeology, we can prove this through the firsthand accounts. There's no doubt that we were already here. That's not even up for discussion. And we have to let folks know that, and we have to let our community know that because they make it seem like we all just came over on slave ships. And that is not the case. Mathematically, that's not the case because it takes too long to come over here. To bring millions of people over here on ships that can hold, really, they weren't putting 300-400 people in these ships. Is around 40 or 50 people at the most for most of those trips. And it takes 4 months to get over here. So the math don't even add up, truth be told. But yeah, there were some people brought over here from on slave ships. That definitely happened because I'm not one of these people who just completely deny that the slave ships were bringing over people from Africa. I don't know why people do that. Yeah, that because it's documented. That definitely happened. But we're saying it's just not the number that they make it seem. Because what they do, they make it seem like all of us came here from the ships, and that's not true. That is not true. There were some here already who were enslaved, and when the Africans came over, we all mixed together and became a new ethnic group. That's what it is.